Hey everybody, welcome back to another GwentCast. This is Hamwolf, bringing you the Gwentlemen Invitational Finals. So this is going to be a recast. If you want to catch the original, I'll have the original in the description. Sorry that I've been away for so long. I've been on vacation. We're going to slow down content release unless views on the channel go up. But for now, I'll probably stick to an every other day or maybe every 3-day schedule. So this is just going to be my perspective on the game. The hand cam was broken for the opposing player, so it kind of fits my channel style, and I feel like I am advantaged in that regard. I'm getting really good at casting these games one-sided. It's going to be Gwent Finland versus Team GFR, and it's going to be Northern Realms versus the Spies deck. So, I'm not really sure what kind of deck this Northern Realms deck is, but I'm sure that we'll find out. So, Imperial Brigade going to be the lead. One of the key cards for this matchup. Pretty important to get these engine cards going early for the Spies deck. And Alzur's Thunder off of that Death Mold will start to disrupt some of these engine cards. Impera Enforcers will come down and it will get its full value because it'll get its deploy trigger, so that'll bring the score from 6-6 to 6-4. A 2-point lead for Spies, but a 1-card lead for Northern Realms, so we'll see if Northern Realms wants to respond here. And Battering Ram going to start to soften up that Impera Enforcers. 3 damage to that Impera Enforcers. It looks like Henselt wants to just beat up on that Impera Enforcers just a little bit, just to help break up that synergy. Curious to how Finland wants to respond here. A few options can break up the Henselt with the Swears, can break up Henselt with that Assassin. So, both players are trying to disrupt the other player's engine. We're going to see Spies try to continually disrupt that Henselt and remove all the value from it. So this Assassin is going to finish off that Battering Ram. And what that'll do is make sure that Henselt has nothing to copy just yet. And the longer that Finland can stall this Henselt from coming down, the more likely they are to find the Henselt with nothing to recover. So a 1-card advantage for the Northern Realms will pass with a tied score. So a potential tie coming in for round 1, as I don't believe that Finland will want to take the risk of going down 2 cards, because they don't really have anything to dump here. If they had a free card to dump, I would highly consider it, but there's nothing really going on that Finland wants to play that would be a free play for them. If they had something kind of bad, maybe they could play it, but wasting an emissary here feels really bad going into this next round. But he's gonna fetch a brigade, and I feel like that's going to be a mistake, because that only leaves 3 engine cards left for the Spies deck, plus a Joachim as finishers. The Spies deck also now has Menno Infiltrator as the combo to help make some big high-tempo plays. But even still, I think that getting that brigade there may have been a mistake. I feel like Infiltrator may have been the better get, or just to pass the round and play the death round down a card. So the Summoning Circle will be really interesting. We'll see if the Team Finland wants to play that Summoning Circle on a Thaler to try to wait it out, or Summoning Circle is potentially very good on Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry, as the first Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry will come down and eat some armor off of the Stennis for the 10 armor off of Stennis. And then the Summoning Circle can copy the Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry and eat 5 armor off of the second units that Stennis gets. And what that'll do is it'll remove the option for Northern Realms to take away armor from a unit, so it'll be one less unit for a Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry, and it'll also just provide a 13 power summoning circle for Finland. So Thaler would be the best get, and Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry will be the second best get, I believe, for summoning circle. So there's a chance that Thaler is not going to be available for Team GFR, so we'll see how the summoning circle gets used in round 3, or if Finland just wants to kick it in this mulligan. Roach going to be the draw. That answers that question, so Roach going to get kicked back and find Cahir. That is probably the best draw that the Northern Realms deck could have gotten. And access to Cahir means that they are ready to find exactly the cards that they need to win this game. Going to lead with a Siege Support. That Kodweni Siege Support, pretty strong card with Henselt. We'll see if Finland wants to try to help break up this Siege Support action via Swears, or potentially via Assassin off of that Vico Caro Medic. So Vico Caro Medic can get that Assassin and kill that 6-powered Siege Support to help break up that Henselt synergy. And I think that's going to be really important for this long round, to break up that Henselt synergy, especially denying this Siege Support via that Assassin. So that Assassin is going to be a 2-powered unit because it's going to get pumped off of the Siege Support. But that's not going to be a super big deal. So an early Shani coming down for GFR. GFR going to pull that Siege Support back out of the deck to try to get some more Henselt action, but holding on to the Swears, a lot of discipline from Finland, is going to really disrupt this Northern Realms deck. They spent a lot of resources here to try to get Henselt rolling, and they're going to not find any value here. So Henselt finding less and less options available to it, as a lot of good bronze cards were burned in round 1. So poor flanking infantry going to come down, represents 13 points via that Siege Support. So 26-8 going to be the score, an 18-point lead for Northern Realms. So even on cards, we'll see how Finland wants to play this one. Emissary will come down. We'll get to look at 2 cards and see if they want to pull Nausicaa Brigade or Impera Brigade. I recommend pulling Impera Brigade and trying to get these engine cards rolling, something that I mentioned in round 1 that's a key to this matchup. One of the big important factors on whether or not Spies can win this matchup is if they can get their Impera Brigade rolling. The second key to the matchup is going to be disrupting Henselt, and they've managed to disrupt Henselt really well. In fact, I'd say that they've disrupted Henselt quite beautifully, but they still have not yet gotten a lot of engine cards online. This Impera Brigade is going to be the first card to come down to help provide tempo for Finland. So Calviat or Cahir, an option for Finland, and it's going to be Cahir over Calviat, I believe, to help pull Roach out of the deck. Because normally you would want to play your leader first, because that's one less card your opponent knows about. But Cahir will pull Roach, and that'll help make a cleaner trigger, deploy trigger off of that Cahir. So Emissary will be found off of that Cahir and looking for possibly Impera Enforcers here. And Impera Enforcer is going to come down and start muscling down this Siege Support. Siege Support gives a lot of value over the course of the game, especially when you're giving your opponent units via Spies. So 3-power Emissaries are pretty significant compared to a 2-power Emissary. So Assassin is available to finish off that siege support. Reaver Scout going to pull a Battering Ram. Battering Ram going to shoot down Kahir and then take a second trigger on Swears. So K-Lock can get Assassin, and Assassin can shoot down siege support. So Assassin's going to deal 6 damage to that siege support, and that 1 armor will be removed via the Impera Enforcers. So I imagine that that's the play that Finland's going to make, because they've indicated by shooting off the armor with the Impera Enforcers earlier that they want to get rid of this siege support as soon as possible. So they have an option to do that right now. They're thinking about possibly Calvietting for that last Enforcers, but I think that this Assassin is the best bet, since the player is already committed to finishing off the siege support. Stennis going to come down and find a Redenian Elite. And Redenian Elite, a pretty good target for Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry. We'll almost certainly see a Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry next turn. And that gives the option for Summoning Circle to grab that 5 armor off of Stennis for a little bit extra value, taking away some armor options for future Dunbanner Heavy Cavalries from the Northern Realms deck. So Team GFR is navigating this pretty well, but I think that Finland has a shot to take this despite being 38 points behind. So Cantarella going to come down and grab an Infiltrator. An Impera Enforces trigger can go pretty much wherever it wants, and I think it should go down on Cantarella. So if it goes down on Cantarella, what you can do is two Impera Enforcer triggers on Cantarella makes future Nausicaa Brigades a way to shoot down that Cantarella for full value. So Cantarella going to be an extra good option here for Finland. So that 17-point Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry getting a little extra value off of that Redenian Elite, who gets pumped by having all of its armor removed. So a huge tempo swing for Northern Realms, putting them 56 points ahead. 1 card up for Finland. The Spies deck is going to have to try to figure out how to work down that score differential, and I like the Summoning Circle and just removing that 5 armor off of Stennis, so that removes the option for future Dunbanner Heavy Cavalries. So a 13-point play off that Summoning Circle, and if you want to think about it this way, that 5 armor that was removed off of that Stennis removes that option for 5 armor off of those Dunbanner Heavy Cavalries that are going to come down for the Northern Realms deck. The question is if the Spies player will have enough to overcome this score differential. 64 points is a lot with only 1 extra card. Now there's pretty swingy options via that Infiltrator Menno combo. And Medic will come down and pull Emissary and hope to find Nausicaa Brigade. And it will find a Nausicaa Brigade, and that's the best value here for this Spies deck, I believe. Okay, so he is going to opt for that Impera Enforcers, and I guess Joachim will actually pull that Nausicaa Brigade to deal that 7 damage to Cantarella for full value. And that's a pretty large tempo swing. Players are even on cards at this point. Commander's Horn available for that John Natalis, and we'll see that come down on the melee row. And we'll see that on the melee row to help protect against Hailstorm. No Hailstorm available for the Spies deck though. So Joachim gonna come down and find that Nausicaa Brigade. And that will get a full value Nausicaa Brigade using that Cantarella and 2 Enforcers triggers. And Thaler is coming down. and still a 35-point deficit. And I don't think that Spies actually has the ability to make all these points back. Menno represents 25 points, but 20 points down for the Spies deck, and 2 cards still remaining in the Northern Realms deck. So I think that Finland is going to be dead here, and Dijkstra definitely will seal the deal and bury Finland for match 1 of the TGI finals here. So they're going to be shot down, and we'll find poor flanking infantry, and that will be enough for Finland to concede the match. So thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, hopefully there will be some more content coming out. Thank you for viewing this. If you want to see the original recording, you can catch that in the description. Thank you everybody. This is Hammer Wolf signing off.